What's up, everybody? Welcome to Normiville.
Totally not. I'm really a good guy. Everyone will vouch for me.
So in this video, I want to cover the Stephen A. Smith show. Now, there have been a lot of rumors about Shannon Sharpe in talks with ESPN, rumors that he might be joining First Take along with Stephen A. Smith. You've probably seen it on Twitter. It's been reported on by a lot of news outlets and independently on YouTube. Well, Stephen A. Smith came out on his show, I think last night or night before last, and he set the record straight if Shannon Sharpe was in talks with ESPN. Now, Stephen A. Smith has been on record as saying he would like to have Shannon Sharpe in his show, but he puts all the rumors to bed, and he also talks about the playmaker Michael Irvin and his situation and his personal thoughts about it, because he's been hushed since it started, but he actually gives his official opinion on what he feels about it. And well, I want to react to it and give it to you. Of course, this is a YouTube video, and I want to, because I'm giving the right reaction, and YouTube has copyright guidelines and all those things, the fair use will be in play here. So as always, cue the disclaimer.
Say yes, 0769. Let me get right into it, because I know that news has been percolating over the last few days that Shannon Sharpe is coming to First Take. I'm not going to tell you that's true. I'm not going to tell you it's not either. What I can tell you is that the honchos are talking to Shannon Sharpe. What I can tell you is that the honchos are fully aware that Stephen A. Smith wants Shannon Sharpe on First Take. Now, don't get it twisted. I want Ryan Clark, too, from the pivot. I want him pivoting his behind right to First Take several times a week because I love my brother. Swagoo Marcus Spears, I want him on First Take. Dan Orlovsky, okay? A.K.A. the White Urkel. I love you dearly, my brother. I want you on First Take, too.
I don't really care for Dan Orlovsky myself, but I will say that Ryan Clark does make a good addition. I like his take, his opinions and takes on things, his analysis. I like Swagoo in there sometimes. He's kind of a hard-nosed brother on there. But as you see here, ESPN is officially in talks, and as he is reiterating right now, Stephen A. Smith wants Shannon Sharpe on the platform.
Kimberly Martin, Mina Kuntz. I want you on First Take. Mad Dog Russo, yeah. I want you on that too, and I'll get into Michael Irvin in just a second.
I don't care for
But
Mad
make
Dog.
no mistake about it.
I don't like Mad Dog.
I'm not apologizing to a damn show. I want Shannon Sharpe on First Take, and I aim to get him. We are definitely talking to Shannon Sharpe. The conversations are official. The reports have not been misnomers or misreports or anything like that. We are talking to him, and I'm hopeful, very hopeful, and very confident that ultimately we will be announcing sooner than later that he will be on First Take. Anything can happen now, because I don't make those decisions. I have bosses, executives like Dave Roberts and Burke Magnus and Jimmy Pitaro. They make the decisions. Stephen A. is not the boss. Okay? I answer to them. They make those decisions. They're the bosses.
We know.
So
we know.
contractual agreements and all of this other stuff have to come into play.
Of
But
course.
damn it, Shannon, Club, Shay, and anything else, I don't give a damn if he brings a bottle of Hennessy with him. I want him on First Take.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
There you go. We want him on First Take too, just to be honest with you, man. Yeah, because to be honest, First Take hasn't been actually to me hasn't been good since Skit left. Because then you had Max Kellerman and these other revolving commentators and contributors on there. That really just it ends up being Stephen A. Smith versus everybody else, and then you got Molly putting her 2 cents when nobody really asked for it. So the show has really gotten kind of, I say, boring over the years. But there's another part where he talks about Shannon Sharpe that I'd like to go over before we get to the Michael Irvin piece. So let me fast forward here, get to 11 minutes and 23 seconds, and right about here. Let's continue.
And that's why I sat up there and I was looking forward to doing a day show to put the sports world on notice. We're coming. First Take been number one, 11 and a half years. We're not going away. Not even a little bit.
That's okay.
Yes, we are talking to Shannon Sharpe. And yes, it's above my pay grade to say anything beyond that because bottom line is I don't get to negotiate with them. Those are the bosses. I answer to them. But ain't nothing going to stop me from letting the world know I want them. And I not only want them for First Take, I want them for our network. Because I consider Shannon Sharpe an asset.
He is.
And I'm not here to throw shade on any other show or any other network, but I think with a talent like that, I don't think you let somebody like that walk out the door.
That's shade.
Somebody else's loss, I intend for it to be my gain. I sincerely hope and pray that ESPN works it out, but more importantly, I expect them to. They know where I stand. And now you do officially. I know I said before that I want them, but in case I didn't say it emphatically enough, I want Shannon Sharpe on First Take to join the crew.
Don't you love how Stephen A. Smith pushed those emphasis on stuff like he's some kind of cinematic movie and everything? Now you know he's been doing the soap opera circuit, and I forgot his name on there. I had to look it up one day, but don't you see him kind of acting when he's talking on First Take when he's doing his podcast? Sometimes it's almost like he's playing a role. Sometimes, maybe just me.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show, right here on YouTube. Glad y'all are listening. Continue to tune in. Let me transition to another subject, please.
Now, I like this segment too because Stephen A. Smith, he has his own views of politics and sports and those kind of things. But to me, I can identify with Stephen A. Smith a lot more now that I've seen him on his podcast, and you're able to see some of his opinions outside of First Take. The Stephen A. Smith Show, I believe, is his, not outside of any network. More not like Club Shay Shay. I believe Club Shay Shay, I believe Fox does have a little bit of that, a little bit of ownership in that. I don't know if ESPN has anything to Stephen A. Smith Show. I'm pretty sure it's funded by FanDuel because you see that on the screen most of the time, presented by FanDuel. So he might have a contract with them for this podcast to sponsor it. But you see Stephen A. Smith having a lot of his own opinions on there, and I rather like some of his opinions. Not all of them, but a lot of them I do agree with outside of his sports analysis and opinions. But he's gonna say something about the Michael Irvin incident that I believe we can all relate to, and I believe we're all thinking, but don't have a platform to say it, in front of millions like this man right here. Let's listen.
That subject is going to be the playmaker himself, Michael Irvin.
Let's go.
This subject has been very, very difficult for me to discuss. I've never known what happened. Obviously, we all saw the video. And to my producers out there, put it up right now while I'm talking so everybody sees the kind of brouhaha that Michael Irvin got himself into in February of
this very ambiguous video that shows him standing talking to this lady. Do we know what he actually said? It's a he said, she said thing. But you don't see him touch her really or say anything, no like big major reaction out of either one of them. So it's really him versus her kind of thing going on, really.
2023.
And the hotel.
Where there was a young lady he was talking to, and he had spoken for approximately 45 seconds. We can't hear anything. All we see is a conversation. And that is it. The next thing you know, Michael Irvin was accused of, at the very least, misbehaving or doing something inappropriate. We don't know what that was. As a result, he was taken off of the Super Bowl coverage. He was asked to leave town.
Yep.
I think foolishly, by the way, he stayed in town, which one would surmise kind of agitated the NFL network. And we
Now, you can take that whichever way you want. I think he stayed personally because he wanted to be able to defend himself to the people that were accusing him. And since the lady's name was, at the time, I believe, anonymous, but also the hotel chain backed her up. So essentially, he was standing up to his accusers, i.e., I think it was the Marriott or wherever he was staying. I forgot the place. Y'all can let me know in the comment section if I'm telling the wrong name. But essentially, he was facing his accuser to the point where he had a press conference and he was in tears talking about how his life has essentially been ruined because of his accusation. And still, there is no evidence. Now, again, the case is ongoing. This is a lawsuit, not a criminal case, so there could be evidence come out to the contrary. But right now, we have nothing to go off of but his word against this anonymous woman and the hotel chain and witnesses that were in the area to see some of the interaction between him and this woman.
Haven't seen him since. I mean, we've seen a video of him with the video being played and him sitting next to his attorneys, and he was in tears, him being accused of doing something wrong, and that's basically been his situation. I've spoken up on behalf of Michael Irvin by way of simply stating I wanted him back on First Take as well, barring any unforeseen evidence that was to come forward that would be incredibly incriminating. I've waited months, and I'm still waiting. And that doesn't just go for ESPN and the NFL Network, but anybody else out there. So let me step out on a limb a little bit more.
Hey, before he does, I've already been on that limb, Mr. Smith. So I can tell you that I think this is a sham.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
As always, with pretty much anything that goes on in current society, the accusations hold just as much weight, if not more, than the conviction or lack thereof itself. So right now, Michael Irvin is going through all of this just off the accusation alone, because the video you see does not give any type of proof that anything actually happened. So we're literally, ESPN and NFL Network are literally have put the hammer down on him just on the allegation alone. And that happens to a lot of people in America. And to be honest, yes, mostly men. In the new era of these hashtag movements, the accusation alone is enough to you to lose your entire life figuratively, not literally. Unless these people get so depressed and so distraught that they take their own addiction to oxygen. But just like Michael Irvin here, now he has to live in the shadows until the evidence comes out to either exonerate him or find him guilty. In any case, he will probably be likely to not regain his life prior to the allegation, which is sad. Unfortunately, it is the world that we live in.
I am not going to cast any aspersions against another human being. I don't know what Michael Irvin said to that woman. I don't know what happened. All I'm going by is the evidence that has been placed before us. Ladies and gentlemen, all we have seen is approximately a 45-second video.
Yep.
Of Michael Irvin talking to this young lady, and then both of them going their separate ways.
Yep.
That is it.
Yep.
That is not a reason for this 3-time Super Bowl champion and this Hall of Famer to be unemployed or off the airwaves entertaining us the way that this man entertains us.
Nope.
Now, if the NFL Network doesn't want him, they have every right not to want him. If ESPN doesn't want him, they have every right not to want him. And the reason why they would have the right not to want him, ladies and gentlemen, is because business is business, and in the place of corporate America, sometimes if something walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's not a mongoose. And if you are constantly finding yourself in questionable situations, an employer will potentially say, I've had enough of this. And as a result, may turn around and say, we just don't want any more. That is.
Now, I have to agree with that. The corporate world is what it is. Perception is everything most of the time. Michael Irvin has had troubles in his past since he's been on television. And he's been employed with ESPN and NFL Network for a good number of years during some of these small skirmishes he's had with trouble in the public eye. And because of that, no, he has not done himself any favors. However, innocence and guilty is not up to the corporate, it's not up to the corporate managers or whoever, the CEOs. But unfortunately, they have to make decisions based off of their brand, based off their bottom line and things of that nature. So if you've been in trouble in the past and then something hits the fan that's just too big for them to cover up or brush to the side or play damage control, then guess what? They gotta let you go. Now, like I said before, allegations are very heavy nowadays. However, the trouble that he's had in his past, well, like most people that we all know, us normies, sometimes that stuff catches up with you and then you have to essentially bite the bullet, for lack of a better word or better phrase.
Entirely plausible. And it makes sense. And if that is the reality of the situation with Michael Irvin and any network, he has to live with that and he has to own it, because right or wrong, if you have enough of a history where you're in the news for the wrong reasons, there are things that people can get tired of. But that's not what I was told. What I was told is that there was going to be incriminating evidence.
Let's go.
Against Michael Irvin.
Sure, you're right.
Based on this incident. And that would be the reason he wouldn't be on the airwaves. I'm not talking about by ESPN. I'm just talking about people in the know in the industry. They were the ones saying that. Well, guess what? That was February.
Talk about it.
It is March, April, May, June, now July, and August is on the way. In case y'all haven't noticed, since that time, I've lost about 20 pounds. Uh-huh. My hairline has receded by about another foot. All right? I'm 6 months older. I know a couple of dudes that just had babies. And I've been to about 6 birthday parties. And we still ain't seen no evidence.
Well, I got to say, when he's right, he's right. Absolutely. Happened in February, right before the Super Bowl. I think like a couple of days before the Super Bowl. We have yet to see any evidence from this woman or the Marriott, I believe, chain or whatever organization, conglomerate. We have yet to see evidence from them that will further or even initially incriminate Michael Irvin because he has proven he has kept his innocence throughout this entire deal. Okay, now we haven't seen him a lot. Ever since that press conference, I don't think we've seen him at all since he went on the podium with his lawyer and showed the video and, like I said, shed some tears, claiming his innocence. So he's got to ride this whole thing out. He's actually countersued the hotel for, I don't know, a very large sum of money. I think I did a video on that, by the way. And I hope he wins, too. If he's found innocent of this wrongdoing, I hope he sues the pants off of everybody and makes them all homeless. Because if he's innocent, this ain't right.
And if we don't see that, this man should be on the airwaves. Michael Irvin was a phenomenal football player.
Yes, it was.
Michael Irvin is a phenomenal television talent.
Absolutely.
He is fun. He is informed. He is passionate.
Very.
He knows his football.
Sure, you're right.
And he is synonymous with the gridiron. When Michael Irvin ain't around, come football season, something's missing.
You're right about that.
Something is missing. And just like I told you, I wanted Shannon Sharpe, I want Michael Irvin too.
Let's go.
Now, there's some of you out there that go like this. He just want it all. He's won it all. What, he can't do this? He can't do this by himself? That's what y'all saying. Shut the hell up.
Oh, well, you know what?
1 for 11.
I got to give him a round of applause for that, too. Yeah. Shut the hell up.
Half years. I believe with or without him, I'm going to be number 1 for 12 and a half years.
I'm going to be number 1, too.
And 13 and a half years. I ain't going further than that because I only got 2 years left on my contract. We got to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
But make no mistake about it, I intend to win. I intend to be number 1. There's no doubt in my mind that a Shannon Sharpe and a Michael Irvin will help. There's no doubt in my mind they'll secure the number 1 spot for ESPN without question. But that ain't the only reason I want them. I want them because they're fun. I want them because they know football. I want them because they're great television.
Yeah.
I want them because they care. And I want them because they're both winners. Winners in ways I'll never be. I'll never take care of myself physically, even though I do think I look good, regardless of what you saw on the damn
Sure, you're
TV
right. That's
or
right.
Social media.
I know.
I know I look better than that, in case you haven't noticed. But I'll never take care of myself the way those two do. I'll never take care of myself. I mean, Shannon, if there's something I got against them,
Okay, he goes on to talk about to kind of gloat a little bit how, buff, Shannon is and Michael Irvin pause. But you see what's going on, right? It's been months since these allegations came out, and there's been nothing to, like I said, prove innocent or guilty. But he puts a cap on it, and then I'll end this video. He puts a cap on it at the end here, which sums up, again, what most of us are thinking. And I want to leave this reaction with this clip right here.
Michael Irvin, I miss you, bro. Innocent until proven guilty. I know that is an unpopular thing to say in today's America, but bump that. It's America. If the man is guilty, show me. If not, NFL Network, I love you. Rich Eisen, all those brothers, I love y'all. Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, come on, y'all know how I feel about y'all. Y'all family to me. Michael Irvin special. Ain't the same without him. First Take, we gonna do what we gonna do. But I'm the face of First Take. And the face of First Take is telling you I love my brother. I miss my brother. And I want him back.
There you go. He wants him back. And you know what? I want Michael Irvin back too, because their clashes during the football season, I love it. I actually love when Stephen A. Smith is talking smack about the Cowboys and have the little back and forth. It's really entertaining. And with Shannon Sharpe on there, another, yes, loud voice, but he brings his own level of expertise. And to see all three of them on a panel would be amazing, wouldn't it? After a game or something, all that energy, all that attitude and expertise in the room, that would be something, wouldn't it? I would like that, and I hope that happens. And like I said, we'll have to see what happens with Michael Irvin. We'll also have to see what happens if they can bring Shannon Sharpe on, contracts and all that kind of stuff, scheduling. We'll see what happens. But it's, I think, less than 50 days till football season starts, preseason, all that. So we'll see what happens, but we can all wish, right? So thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just a Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news, entertainment, and politics. Let me know what you think about the possible acquisition of Shannon Sharpe and the case that's ongoing with Michael Irvin. Let me know what you think about that down in the comment section. And please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.